In its first 3 episodes, the HBO series House of the Dragon has done a great deal to establish the richness and complexity of its various characters. The men and women who occupy this particular time in Westerosi history are just as fascinating as their counterparts in Game of Thrones. In part, this stems from their basis in Fire and Blood, the fictional history Martin wrote as a companion to his main series. Thus, it's worth taking a look at the various characters of House of the Dragon to see just how closely they resemble their book counterparts. 10 Rhaenyra Targaryen, like the best female characters in Game of Thrones, is a formidable personality. Willful and a little bit arrogant, she is the type of person who wants to live her life on her own terms, even if that means going against her father's wishes. Her willfulness and stubbornness are very similar to her book counterpart, who was often unwilling to change her mind once she had made it up about something. However, it's worth noting that the character in Fire and Blood is a bit more loving of luxury than the version that appears in House of the Dragon. 9 Otto Hightower is one of the most skilled people at playing the Game of Thrones. Brooding and more than a little melancholic, he is also someone who knows the path to power is through the king, which is why he maneuvers his daughter into his lord's bed. Like his book counterpart, he is someone with a very shrewd mind and, just as in Fire and Blood, he harbors a deep dislike and distrust of Daemon Targaryen, who he sees as a threat to the realm and his personal safety. The book version of the character is definitely more blunt and more outspoken than his on-screen counterpart. 8 Alicent Hightower is one of the most important characters in the series. As the king's second wife, she is the one who ends up bearing him the son he has so long desired. Like her book counterpart, she has a lovely personality, one which is capable of charming almost everyone around her, including, obviously, the king. She is not quite as cunning or as ruthless as her book counterpart. In fact, she seems to genuinely love Viserys, and she also shows herself somewhat reluctant to start advancing the interests of her son over her former friend, Rhaenyra. 7 Corlys Velaryon. The universe of Game of Thrones is filled with very formidable knights, including members of the Kingsguard. At the time of House of the Dragon, Corlys Velaryon is definitely one of these. In both the book and the series, he is someone who is both very adventurous, witness his desire to invade the Stepstones, and also very ambitious, in that he wants to wed a member of his own family into the royal one. He was also one of those people who was ceaselessly intractable. This emerges throughout his time on the series, as he continues to vie with both Viserys and Otto Hightower for power and influence. 6 Daemon Targaryen is one of Matt Smith's best roles. He brings out both the charisma and the brattiness that were such key elements of this particular Targaryen prince's personality. The Daemon of House of the Dragon is, in fact, very close to his book counterpart. Both book and series versions of the character are incredibly charming. At the same time, both iterations of the character are also very prone to anger and to outbursts of emotion, and it is precisely this unpredictability that makes them such a great threat to their brother and to the stability of the realm. 5 Rhaenys Targaryen is another formidable member of the Targaryen family. Like her book counterpart, her own claim to the Iron Throne was passed over because of her sex. And, just as in the book, she isn't one to just sit by and let others claim the power she feels should be hers by right. Though she doesn't make a claim for the throne, she, along with her husband Corlys, are more than willing to try to get their daughter into bed with the king. In both the book and series, Rhaenys is a shrewd and, at times, ruthless woman intent on getting her due. 4 Mysaria is one of the most enigmatic characters in the series. Hovering at Daemon's shoulder, it's clear that there is a strong bond between the two of them. In the book, she is a very sinister figure, someone who worked from the shadows and was very skilled at manipulating others. In House of the Dragon, likewise, she is something of an enigma, though she is very willing to take Daemon to task when she feels that he has treated her in a disrespectful manner. She is definitely not someone that it is wise to cross. 3. Viserys Targaryen. Though Viserys might not be one of the most powerful Targaryens, he still has his own form of charisma. In the series, he genuinely seems to want to do what's best for both the realm and his family, particularly his daughter and his brother. This was also a key characteristic of the book version of the character, who could never quite find the right balance. It's worth noting, though, that the Viserys of House of the Dragon is a bit more dour and prone to melancholy than the character who plays such a key role in Fire and Blood. 2. Sir Criston Cole. Criston Cole is sure to be seen as one of the best knights of this series. Dashing and handsome and very skilled, he is the type of person who knows how appealing he is to others and makes full use of it. In both the book and the show, he is particularly adept at using his Morningstar, particularly when it came to combat with Prince Daemon. And, in both the show and the book, he has a complicated relationship with Princess Rhaenyra, one which will come to have significant consequences for both of them. 1. Lionel Strong. Of all of the members of the small council, Lionel Strong is one of the few who seems to be truly adept at what he does. In the show, he has a shrewd mind and a plainspoken attitude, which is what allows him to give King Viserys advice, even that which the monarch might not want to hear. The series' version of the character is far less brutish than his book counterpart, however. Both iterations, it is worth noting, are far more shrewd and intelligent than others are willing to recognize.